So today we're going to be making broccoli and cheese soup. Normally it's with cheddar, but I've got mozzarella. So I've got my fresh ginger here. We're going to go ahead and shave the skin off. Now all the skin is off. We're going to grab cheese grater. We're just going to grate this up. Now that we got all that, we're going to go ahead and put it in the pot. Then we're going to take our garlic. We're gonna finely chop all this up just so it spreads nicer. It spreads nicely in the soup, so it's not just clumps of garlic that you're gonna be eating. Now that's all nicely chopped. We're gonna go ahead and put this in the pot. We're gonna take our onion. We're also gonna dice this up nice and fine, or not nice and fine, but dice it up small. Now, I know there is a better way to dice all this up, but this is the way I'm doing it. So I don't want perfect diced pieces. I just want like bite-sized pieces almost to have it easily go through the whole soup properly. Now that we got that, we're going to go ahead and put this in the pot. So now that we got that in the pot, we're gonna go ahead and turn this on to medium heat. We're gonna add pepper to it. Now that I've also added thyme and turmeric to it. Now I like adding those things just because my household is kind of sick right now, so I feel like this helps with colds as well as the ginger and everything. So I'm gonna cook this up, add the broccoli into it, and then I'll show you how to make a roux. Alright, so now that my pot is cooked, like all the vegetables are cooked and everything, you can see all that wetness in there. We're gonna go ahead and get some flour. Now you want to add just enough flour to make it look kind of like mashed potatoes inside the pan. You don't want liquid to seep out, but you also don't want it too dry, otherwise it's not going to work. So starting off with a little bit first, stir that in. As you can see, that's not enough, so we're going to add a little bit more. Now you can tell that it's all kind of clumping together, so I'm going to go ahead and run with that. Sorry. It's all clumping together. So now I'm going to grab the milk. I also didn't mention that I added chicken stock to it as well. Now I poured the first bag in. We're going to get this to temp before we add a different bag to it, just so I don't split the milk. So we're going to bring this up to temp, and then I'll add another bag in. So I'm almost at the point where I can add the second bag of milk. Now you're probably wondering, why did I make a roux? The roux is a thickening agent when you're dealing with milk-based soups. Now you add the first bag, and you got to make sure that you bring it up to temp, and then you consistently stir because milk will burn fairly easy. And you want it to thicken up before you add the second bag, because if you add it all in at once, you have a good chance of splitting the milk, and then your soup won't be very good. So, seeing as how I'm almost at the point, I'll go ahead, give it a little bit, and then I'll add another bag to it. So I went added my second bag to it. Now again, you're going to want to consistently stir it, just so the milk doesn't burn, to get it back up to temp to help thicken. And then we're going to go ahead and add the cheese, then bring the heat down to let it simmer. And then after that, it will be to season if you find there's not enough seasoning in it. And I'll probably hear in the comments, well, why didn't you use vegetable stock? Because I don't have vegetable stock on hand at the house right now. And I have chicken stock. I used Better Than Bouillon stock. It comes in a little jar at your local grocery store. And I also prefer the taste of chicken stock. Now, if you do want to go crazy, you can also use beef stock. Now that my second bag is finally up to temp, and you can see it start to thicken up, just like the first bag did, I'm going to go ahead and add my cheese to it. Now again, I'm using mozzarella, not cheddar, because normally it does go with cheddar, but because I don't have any, I'm improvising and using mozzarella. So we're going to go ahead and pour that in there. We're going to stir it in. Make sure it gets all over the place. Then we're going to turn the heat down to low-ish. And we're going to let that simmer until desired thickness, and then taste, and then add seasoning if it needs it. And now that I've turned it down, you still need to stir it occasionally, just so the bottom doesn't burn. But otherwise, yeah, you just let it do its thing. Right. Now that I have my cheddar broccoli mozzarella soup to the thickness that I like, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the element, let this sit, and then it'll be ready to serve up. Now for a disclaimer, I'm sure someone in the comments is going to be like, change the battery in your smoke detector. I know it beeps. Battery has been changed, so there's no need to comment on it. But otherwise, thanks for coming out.